You ready? All right, good afternoon, everyone. It is July the 12th. Can I get my glasses?
Woo! I can see space from here. Just kidding.
It's not even cool, man.
Yeah.
It's not even cool, man. All right. Damn. All right, good afternoon. It's just July the 12th, 2018, and we are here for our 44th show. Let's go. 44. Come on. All right. So, hey, a great time so far, right?
Yeah.
It's been a good time. And it's always best when everyone else comments and gets kind of a discussion going because it gets us pumped up, and then we want to keep going. And we had a lot of comments yesterday. So we're going to talk about all those comments, every one of them, no matter what, because again, it is about the comments that come first, right? I mean, that's why we do this. Radio talk shows, they talk about a subject, they open the phone lines, they take calls, and they discuss those calls, or they hang up on the calls. We would never hang up on a call, right?
No, I would not. I mean, everyone's entitled to their opinion, whether they like it or not, whether they like our show or not. It doesn't matter to me. I mean, everyone's entitled to whatever they feel, right?
Yeah, I mean, we're going to cover, we have, by the way, we're at the house today, and we are on, again, Dauphin Island, and it's a barrier island in Alabama, and there is a stiff wind coming out of our south to the north. So at times, if it sounds like we are shouting, we are not. We are simply trying to overcome the wind factor.
But it feels good because it's been a hot day today.
Yeah,
Horrible.
it's been a very hot day for us here. I think for us, and we'll do a brief discussion on that. I was going to jump down to that. Actually, I'm going to follow the itinerary so I don't get off track. So look, today was the women's semifinals day. That was two pretty quick matches.
Mm-hmm. Too quick. I didn't like that it was too fast. You didn't even get to enjoy the match.
Yeah, I think the first match, we started watching, we were cooking the kids breakfast, and before we knew it, it was done, or I think it was pretty lopsided in the second set, and a little bit of a fight at the end of the middle of the second set, and then it just finished. And then we went out to train the kids, and we were listening to that on a...
No, we went to clean the courts
Oh,
first.
clean the courts, yeah, and we're going to get
we got a lot of sand on the tennis courts we have here in Dauphin Island.
Yeah, we're going to talk about the court cleaning too. So we had a couple hours of court cleaning this morning, and we had been keeping track of set scores where we go out and play sets, and she's up 3-1 on me right now. So she had, again, I think she had a 6-4, a 6-1, and a 6-3, and then I had a 6-2 against her. And we were going to go out and try to make that closer on my end today, and then we realized that we had about 3 metric tons of sand to clean off the court, and we'll get into that as well. But it was 2 one-sided matches. I mean, it really was. I was glad to see the match that I think on paper we have all wanted to see, i.e. either Kvitova, Muguruza, or Kerber against Serena. So we have Serena there, and one of those big hitter 3 women I just named are there as well. So I think the crowd is happy. I think the ticket
It's a rematch. Rematch again.
Yes, and as Vlad's Music Box said the other day, that yes, Serena and Kerber played in the Wimbledon final, I think it was 2016?
I can't remember.
2016, 2015, and Serena won that match. So we do have a rematch of this Wimbledon final.
Right.
So it's been a long day. Again, we got up early to go to finish competing in this set competition that we have had for a very long time, but in the sense since we started this video, she's up 3-1. We go out this morning and we had 2 hours of sweeping involved and heavy sand on the court because of just one small thunderstorm. And after about 2 hours of sweeping and her shoveling and dumping it outside the court, and me sweeping and shoveling, and then myself dumping outside the court, and then she would take laps around the court while I was shoveling simply to get a workout in, and then she would shovel and sweep off the courts until I would run around the court a few times so I could get my legs going as well. At the end of the day, though, after about 2 hours, we kind of gave up on the sweeping, and I called a buddy of mine, and he brought me a blower from about 30 miles away to finish blowing the courts. And then after that, I had it done in 5 minutes.
Thank God he came. Really, thank you so much.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Again, I won't mention names here just out of sheer respect to some people not really getting into their names being mentioned. Didn't even think about it. I didn't even mean to bring that up, but I just thought about it. But man, he won't see it. But nonetheless,
Maybe he will.
Maybe he
he's
will.
become a tennis fan. Didn't he send you a message that Federer is a badass?
yeah, he did send me a message about that. I didn't think about that. So it's possible. That's possible. So hey, appreciate the blower though, because I got it done in 5 minutes after we spent 2 hours sweeping. Actually, we tried to play a set after we got done sweeping for 2 hours. We cleared one court out, right? We cleared
Yes.
one of the 2 courts out, and we tried to attempt to play a set on one of the courts, and because of the what I call death cookies, like wads of sand, like when you're trying to run after a ball, then you like split, and then you want to go back the other direction, and your foot hits the death cookie sand, like, you know, kind of like grass, but 10 times worse. That's what we dealt with at like 2-1. I think we were on serve at 2-1, and then I had a slide, and I was like, whoa.
Well, we weren't on serve. We broke each other in the beginning, and
Yeah, I think ultimately how you would look at
then
it.
I won my serve, and then
So it would be on serve.
yes, then it was on serve. But I didn't have my heart in it. I was too tired after sweeping for 2 hours and shoveling and picking up sand, and I had nothing in my stomach to eat. It was 10 o'clock, and I was pretty much ready to go home and get a good meal.
Yeah, this wind's strong, so we got to be careful with this one. I always make reference to the wind, because if the wind blows onto our recording with device, which is my phone, it's muffled, so hopefully the wind's not too bad. So after we got done sweeping and realized that we didn't have the energy to go a really toe-to-toe set, we came back home, we had lunch with the 5 kids, and then we
Breakfast/lunch.
yeah, kind of a brunch, and then took all 5 back out to the courts, and they had a good training day.
Yes, they did.
Yeah, we'll get into that as well. All right, so just to reiterate, we love to discuss tennis. We love to talk tennis with others globally. So when we are lucky enough to get others' comments, no matter where you are, what it's about in terms of tennis, pros or cons, we always want to discuss those first. All right? This is like your voice show and ours, and if we battle it out, we'll battle it out. But if we agree, we agree.
Yes.
But feel free to battle for sure.
Yes.
So before getting into the women's semifinals results and the final setup for the women, as well as to reiterate the men's semifinals, we're going to discuss those comments. Cool?
Cool.
All right, so as always, jumping into viewer comments, match predictions, and our thoughts about those comments, and our comments, we will say forthright, and we're going to read those comments that others leave forthright. Okay? No holds barred. Let's go! All right, so immediately after the download yesterday, we had some really deep, spot-on comments from a longtime viewer, and his username is rule fallen. Okay, we've heard this name before. I'm going to check the camera just to make sure it's not turned off by the wind. All right, and so we're good. So I do have to again reiterate that we know who this gentleman is, and he is a top-notch player, a top-notch coach, and at very high levels, and has been for a very long time. I don't have a problem with using the username, and I don't have a problem with using someone's real name, but because of the fact that the world in which we live is complicated, and someone that may not like this or like that, I think it's best to just use his username, because I haven't even spoken to him in terms of, and why would I anyway? But the context I'm trying to build is that a comment from him, and again, rule fallen, if you read the comments, is from someone that is a really good person. I mean that, and he is a really good coach, and I mean that, and he is one heck of a player, and I mean that, and is really a beautiful person. I mean that. I've coached with him. So if I reference one of his comments, I think it's worth listening to, in a sense, because he's been around and he knows people around the world globally, and coaches those same type players. So anyway, enough with that. I just wanted.
Well, I get to practice my Spanish, so that's good.
Yeah, and she gets to practice
writing it. I really don't get to practice it at all.
Yeah, so hey, rule fallen. Appreciate the Spanish.
English, because we go back and forth, Spanish and English.
So I think you actually met him dropping off a racket
long time
or something
ago,
a long time ago. So, and anyway, at the end of the day, I just build that context because some of the comments that he makes, only he would really be able to come up with because of his experience, and that's all I'm trying to say. So again, thank you for the comments, and we're going to get right in to those. So he came out with some awesome stuff. First of all, he brought up the fact that Isner, and if we watched the match, great. I know we watched some of it, and I didn't realize the fact that Isner was really close. I mean, a hairline close to being down 2 sets. Right?
I didn't realize that either. Well, I didn't get to watch the match. I was listening to it on Wimbledon radio, and they were, you can go back and forth, but I was more focused on the Nadal-Potro match, so I didn't really get to listen to much of the Isner match.
Yeah, watch that win. It's howling.
I'm sure they can hear us.
Hope so. I always worry about that because you speak for 20 minutes and realize the wind muffled the camera. It kind of messes up sometimes. But he made the comment that he was so close to being down 2 sets to none, and then to turn on his game right at the right time, and then to get into a first Wimbledon semifinal. I understood he won it. I really honestly didn't pay that much attention to the match, less the score. Saw some highlights. But explained that way, I really do kind of sense the intensity behind it from Isner's mindset that I really didn't quite grasp beforehand.
Right.
And I think Arul Fallon has played at that level and has also coached at some of those players' level as they were a little bit younger. So I can kind of feel that with his comment in sense that he turned it up right at the right moment, quote unquote. He was almost down 2 sets, and it just obviously broke Raonic's stride and rhythm, and it got him into his first semifinal, right?
Yeah.
So great context, great perception, kind of perspective on that. Furthermore, he went insofar as to going back to the college days of Isner and the college days of Anderson. He had mentioned that their career head-to-head was Isner 8 and Anderson 3. I didn't realize that.
No, I never even thought of looking that up.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's highly important. But I didn't think of even looking it up. I just kind of favored, in my head, Anderson. And I didn't realize the kind of head-to-head was lopsided. However, furthermore, this gets deeper. Furthermore, if you look at their life kind of in total, at least from the college years, because again, Isner went to Georgia, and Kevin Anderson went to University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign, respectively. Isner and Anderson played one another while in college, and Isner won that match as well. So as the latter part,
he won in straight sets.
Won in straight sets.
I would have never known that.
What's up?
Nor ever look it up. I would have never thought of that.
Let's go. Great information. I'm talking. That's a down the line. What did I say the other day? That's like ripping a forehand down the information, facts, and sideline or something. That's a winner right there. Yes. All right, anyway, furthermore, indicated he likes Djokovic, excuse me, he favors Djokovic for the final because after the long Nadal match, Nadal probably has a little bit less left in the tank, I think, was kind of the inclination from a coaching perspective. We know he can coach. As well, though, liking Anderson because of his confidence level out have just beating Federer, the king of grass, quote unquote. So he probably has a lot of confidence. However, again, he indicated by comment he would like to see an Isner-Nadal final. Obviously, the Isner college stuff goes back with him a ways, and he's been in that kind of genre of tennis at that level for a while, respectively. So I get him for that. And Rolando surely has some type of ties beyond, how do I put this without spilling the beans? I think he probably has some emotional ties to Nadal, as you do. You know what I mean? So anyway, I mean, I'm correctness. I mean, damn, I'm trying my best over here, man. Let's go. So I'm ad-libbing because I usually review this stuff, and we went out to the courts with the kids. And by the way, Arul Fallon, they're doing all right.
Exhausting day.
Yeah, exhausting day. I mean, the kids did well. It was really hot. Jonathan, again, he's 2 years away from potentially crossing that line and into that level. He's doing better. His footwork on his backhand side is subject, and his overheads have gotten better, which is correctable. Actually, he's doing pretty well.
They all did well today.
Yeah, they did pretty good today.
It was hot. It was like 92, but the heat index was much higher. I was dripping just feeding balls today, so.
Yeah.
It tells you how hot it is when you're dripping sweat on the tennis court.
Yeah,
and you're just feeding balls.
Yeah, I try to actually find reasons to make excuses to tell you why my kids need to get better, and they all need to get better, believe me. But I think you're right. They didn't have a bad. Today was like a good day for all of them. Even the 2-year-old hit. The 5-year-old is getting better.
It was too hot for her.
Liliana was serving the 9-year-old. Christopher was, again, he's the one that I really have high hopes for. But Jonathan, going into his junior year, playing 1 on the team for his high school. Christopher 2 as a freshman. They're doing pretty good. I don't think they're at our rules level yet, but they might get there.
That's all right. There's tennis levels.
I think they'll get there. Let's go.
We're all at different levels. We're not all supposed to be in the same level.
They did it pretty. They did pretty good.
And
today.
I'm sweating just sitting here.
I think they did pretty good today. Pretty good. All right. So okay, I have to jump back into this. So again, he mentioned that he would like to see an Isner-Nadal final, indicating it's probably Isner's only opportunity to get to this point.
I agree with him.
Totally agree.
That he won't have another opportunity. He won't have that opportunity at the U.S. Open. Everybody's good at the U.S. Open.
Totally agree.
Too many competitors at the U.S. Open.
Yeah.
They're all good at hard court.
Yeah, totally agree.
Yeah, this is his chance. All those seeds drop. He needs to take advantage and beat Anderson. And I hope he does.
Yeah.
Even though on paper I pick Anderson. I even pick Anderson still, even after he said that in my bracket.
Yeah, exactly. I totally agree. Totally agree. Said it perfectly. I won't reiterate what she just said because exactly on paper, you have to pick Anderson. Is it Isner's really only
even
shot?
If the record's 8-3, I still don't have that much faith in Isner. I just don't.
Exactly. I'm rooting for Isner. I want him to win. I'm really hoping. Go Isner. Come on. However, I can get excited in one hand and look at paper and statistics on the other hand, and that leads me to think, not hope, but think Anderson will win.
Right.
So totally agree with.
And even if I was Anderson and you were Isner and we were going out on the court, me being Anderson, in my head, I know I'm going to beat you.
Yeah, I agree totally. At the end of the day, his final comment was, however, anyone playing at their highest level at this point in this tournament can win. Totally the epitome of a statement that comes from a good coach. I would expect no other comment from a coach that coaches at almost the highest level. I mean, I would expect that would be, when you coach more than one person, you have to kind of look at it from a team standpoint. And when you get down to 4 people, everybody, if you play at their highest level, can win. I think that is an absolute rock bottom.
Sure, anybody could win. I mean, I think, who was it, Panetta that we went back to? She proved it. No one expected her to win the U.S. Open. No one expected Vinci to make it to the final and beat Serena. But she played at her high level and she won it. Same thing with Schiavone. No one expected her to beat Dozier, and she won the French Open.
Exactly. Well said. Good knowledge drop right there. Mm-hmm. Good knowledge drop for sure. Furthermore, with the college match that they played, Anderson against Isner, as I came up with, that would make Isner 9-3 over Anderson since college and career level. So Isner holds a heavy edge. So I really think that Isner has a chance, and I agree totally with him that if he doesn't win here, I doubt if he makes it to a 4th round, much less a semifinal ever again.
I wonder if they ever played on grass, though. I wonder if that record has anything to do with grass. I didn't bother looking it up. I should have. But I wonder if that's on hardcourt. I guess it's on hardcourt, that record.
Yeah, Vlad's Music Box. Never played on grass? I don't know. We'll see. All right, so next up.
I think Christopher looked up that record and he told me they never played in grass. But I'm not sure.
And final thought for our rule fallen, and I'm going to move forward. If there are any matches that you or your team may have that are anywhere near our location here in Dauphin Island, near Mobile, please let us know. Comment. You have my personal number, obviously, but definitely would like to show up with my 2 at least oldest to at least watch them play. And I'm not too terribly far anyway, but let me know or let us know. And if we can't both go, Carla can go, or I can, and it's good to get them kind of in that vibe, kind of get them in that environment, because they're going to head that way one way or the other. That's not really open for discussion. So anyway, let us know if you come close, or if not, maybe we can check that schedule out. All right. So anyway, great job, great comment. So the next viewer comment was from a first-time person who left a comment, and his name was Rajesh, Rajesh, last name Kumar, Rajesh Kumar, and he had a great new comment. Again, let's go. Thank you for leaving the comment. It's always nice to have someone new in the discussion. Everything always comes together in tennis. Tennis is a small world, and eventually it kind of all wraps in together. We've had a couple of these moments in discussions recently.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Some wrap in together moments. So thank you, Rajesh, for the comment. I told him I would write this in, so I did it immediately, that his pick, and he is very confident, that is a Djokovic-Anderson final. Number one, I love his pick. Number two, Djokovic is rested, as Arul Fallen just mentioned, and we discussed yesterday upon the results how he was happy it went deep. You mentioned that. Anderson, I feel, is better than Isner, but we will see. I'm rooting for Isner, but I feel Anderson will win, so I agree with him. And I have foreseen and spoken about Djokovic winning this tournament since grass season warm up. I said, watch out, Djokovic may win.
I think Andy Murray also said the same thing in an article I read, that he thought Djokovic would win Wimbledon. I hope not.
Yeah, so I mean, we talked about it though, right?
Yes.
And you kind of giggled at me.
I still, maybe because I'm not a huge Djokovic fan, not that I don't like Djokovic, I'm just a bigger Nadal fan, and I want to see him win 18. Or Isner win his first one. Or even Anderson win his first one.
Yeah. I mean,
Sorry, I'm just not a huge Djokovic fan. I don't enjoy the... What? I just don't like those antics. I don't. I like a player to be humble, to be nice to everybody. I don't like that attitude. I hate it. Sorry.
I agree. I agree with her. I don't necessarily like that, bad boy side. Sometimes I guess you could say it's entertaining. But
it's okay when you're playing a point and you won a long rally, but at the end of the match, I feel like a player doesn't need to do that. Anderson beat Federer, which is a big deal. You didn't see him do that, did you?
No, but I think the objective discussion would be, it would be irrelevant to talk about what you think about them as a person. I think
as a player, he's great. Yeah.
So I think again, I don't want to get personal. I think I want to leave all that out and look at their game, right?
Sure, Djokovic has a heck of a game.
So
does he deserve to win? Sure.
So objective, just being objective, just facts and facts. Rajesh has a really great take, because number one, I've said that Djokovic is going to win this tournament since before we did this entire thing.
What's Nadal?
I have him on my fantasy team.
Nadal and Djokovic head to head is what, like 25-23?
It's close.
Something like that. I think Nadal's ahead. 25-23, or it might be the other way around. So it's a close. Anybody could win.
Now here's the kicker. Going back to our rule fallen, is that again, Nadal went 5 sets deep with Del Potro, and granted he's getting a day of rest. I get that.
That took a lot out of him.
But,
yes.
But let's look at Djokovic. Coughed up a set, but the 3 sets he won were 6-3, 6-2, 6-2. I mean, he had a little bit of a bump in the road, but he's probably pretty chilled out. However, I still think Djokovic is only at about 75, 80%.
Yeah, he still doesn't look at 100%.
But physically, after the match with Del Potro, I think Nadal will probably be around the same. So I think it's going to be a battle. It's going to come down to, I think, percentages here, whether it's first serve percentage, whether it's second serve points won. There's going to be a lopsided...
Well, they're both grinders, Justin. They both hit the ball back and forth. They both can run. They both can return a serve. They both can serve. I mean, they have variety in their game. So it's going to be a long match, I think.
Yeah, it's going to be a long match, so I look forward to that. But I agree with Rajesh in terms of Anderson. I think Anderson will beat Isner. I don't necessarily guarantee Djokovic will beat Nadal, but I think Djokovic has a great chance. So I like his final pick.
He has a good chance.
I think it's a great pick. Real quickly, and I'm going to toss this one there. Again, we both have fathers that played and taught us this game. My father's 80, and yours is
61.
61. So we had comments from both of them. From her father, he's a good soccer player too and grew up that way. He was questioning the World Cup winner. What is it, France and Belgium? So he was wanting to know who would win that.
So Croatia lost?
I think it's no, I think it's France and Belgium that play in the
Okay,
final.
I really don't. My father played soccer. I was never a big soccer fan, so I don't keep up with it.
Well, yeah, I mean, I know our Rule Fallen probably has some soccer experience with him. I don't know that factually.
He did ask what about the World Cup?
I know that her father, South American or Central American, big into that. I know from myself, not having any soccer experience, however, the footwork with the sport is absolutely spectacular. I think skateboarding is great for footwork too. Just a shout out to our Rule Fallen on that. Our Rule Fallen, I skateboard a lot, but nothing more than just moving and keeping my feet going. I think it's great. So, who's going to win the World Cup? And that's a shout out to her dad. So that's a good question, a question, right? But either way, I have to state that my father, 80 years young, who again taught me the game and then turned me over to coaches as we aged, came up with these facts. And one of these was yesterday. Andy Roddick was the last U.S. male to be in a Wimbledon semifinal, and that was in 2009. Okay? So, again, that is a concrete fact that we mentioned about a good example of where men's American tennis has been. Very stagnant. 2, a women's note that Maddox Sands and Safarova lost their quarterfinal match. They had won Wimbledon, I think. They
never won.
No, they never won Wimbledon. They won
Wimbledon.
every slam but Wimbledon.
Right.
Okay, so they lost their quarterfinal match. So appreciate that heads up because I would not have looked at it. And as well, the Bryan brothers, Jack Sock, not the Bryan brothers. One of them's injured, I think.
Yes.
So it's Jack Sock and Mike Bryan are in the Wimbledon finals after overcoming a pretty difficult match in the semi. So
and they were down too. I was listening to that on the radio. They were down.
Yeah, so good job to those guys, especially to Sock in this case. I'm giving Sock a hard time about his fitness. Granted, doubles you're not running as much, but it does take some very tight focus.
But they still play a high level doubles.
Yeah.
I mean, have you seen some of those double matches?
Yeah, I think the fitness you can get away with a little bit out of shape.
I mean, they gotta have a quick reaction at the net.
Yeah,
it's
it's
pretty fast.
Yeah.
Reflexes it's unbelievable.
Exactly. So again, appreciate that for the shout out on the doubles for both Sock, the semifinal facts, and the Safarova Maddox Sands doubles as well. And wasn't there a mixed doubles deal?
Yes, Azarenka.
And Jamie Murray.
Jamie Murray made it to the semis.
Was it the semifinals?
Semifinals, I think.
So I may have that, but yeah. So Jamie Murray and Azarenka, Andy Murray's younger brother, Jamie Murray, and Victoria Azarenka made it to the mixed doubles semis. Pretty good story, right?
That's good. Well, his main thing is doubles. He plays doubles and mixed doubles, so he's a double specialist. But Azarenka's not. I never even knew she played doubles or mixed doubles.
Yeah. So interesting facts on that for sure. So we've gotten through all the viewer comments. Much respect to everyone. We are looking like we are going to run into 2 parts.
Hopefully not. Really?
I think we're already there.
Oh my gosh! So we didn't even say the score.
There's only 4, and that was at the end of the list. But I think we're gonna. Look. I'll check. But I think we can only go. So it's 28. We can only go to 33. We can get them done.
We should.
All right, we're going to try. If not, we'll do part 2 and a brief second part to this. So, viewer comments are done. Semifinals results. Kerber defeated Ostapenko 6-3, 6-3. Look routine to me.
Yeah, that was in the first set I watched Ostapenko. She was hitting the ball hard, flat. Justin said, I don't think she'll be able to keep that up much longer. And she wasn't. Kerber was answering to everything. She hit everything back. And Ostapenko couldn't put a first serve in at all.
Yeah, and
she crammed it right into her body.
Yeah,
Kerber did.
You're absolutely right. The second serve that Ostapenko was delivering to Kerber was rather weak, and she was just crunching it. So, and it happened continuously. I don't think that Ostapenko was able to find out a way to overcome that, and Kerber made her pay for that. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And then another fact that I didn't even know Kerber was a righty, and she learned how to play tennis as a lefty.
Yeah, that's another interesting fact.
I didn't know that.
And Carla dug this up. Kerber, like Nadal, are right-handed. However, they have been trained to play tennis left-handed.
I would have never guessed that.
So, was there any comments, by the way? Any reason why this is a big deal? I think it's great. Ambidextrous, two hands.
Awesome.
And it's a rematch. She's the lefty going again. Look, this is going to be a great women's final.
It is. Yeah, it won't be a boring one. So I'm glad they're both in the finals.
Yeah, great match. I was wrong here. I thought Ostapenko showed the aggressive game it took to take Kerber out. Kerber had everything coming back.
Everything.
And Ostapenko's first serve was not enough.
Well, she was missing her first serve.
The percentage was low. So
Yes.
the second serve was kind of sitters, and Kerber would make her pay for that. I'm going to move right into the Serena match. However, I know we're at about 31 minutes. And that's... My phone cuts off at 33, so if I do it now, don't shoot me, but if I keep going, it's going to turn into a mess. So I didn't mean to get into so many viewer comments, but I didn't expect as many. That was like our biggest day of viewer comments. There was a lot of comments. Yeah, man, I'm tripping, man. So look, what I'm going to do is I'm going to end this part right here. And then I'm going to start exactly right here, and I'm going to go right into the Serena match, and we're basically about done. I just had a few questions at the end, just to mention, because one involved gambling in tennis, one involved a girl getting fined for cursing, but she really didn't even curse if you really listen to the tape. So there's some good commentary stuff, given that we're going to have a week off of covering stuff, because there's no hardcourt tournaments until Atlanta, and then one in China. And that's
Right.
like, so I'm just creating discussion, right?
Right.
So let's go. Come on. All right, come on, we'll get this done. She don't like it, but that's okay. You know what
That's
I mean?
what I deal with at home.
She's hot though.
Anyways.
Oh, I tell you,
Okay, let's
you
go.
what.
Next show. Ready? Next show. Ready?
man.
Well, you didn't even say bye.
All right, well, you distracted me with your beauty.
Okay.
Shoot, paying attention.
Okay, come on, man. Justin, come on.
Sorry, I got distracted. Anyway, so we're gonna go into part two. We're gonna go into part two. So thanks for watching. Click a like below, subscribe below. But if you want to finish this, then go to the next.
Yeah, it gets good. There's some good information.
Yeah, there's some
in the
good
next
information coming though. Come on. All right, let's go. Let's get deep. Let's go. All right.
one. See you in a bit.